borough area of Courtown Harbour in Gorey after midnight on July 28th. The girls, aged between 15 and 17 and from West Dublin, were on holiday at the time. The suspects who were arrested today are being questioned at Garda stations in the southeast. And that's all for now. We'll have more news at 8.
News Talk Weather.
Thanks to the AA. You can find our lowest car insurance price online, guaranteed.
Severe winds will continue tonight in western and southern areas with damaging gusts for a time. The winds will ease off though over eastern and northern areas. Rain too, mainly over the northern half of the country, with lowest temperatures 14 to 18 degrees. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
All right, you're very welcome along to Thursdays Off the Ball. Nathan with you until 10 o'clock this evening. So Ireland have beaten Russia 35-0 at the Rugby World Cup. They got the job done, got the bonus point, but it was another pretty lacklustre performance. More injury problems and not much to get excited about. We will hear from inside the Ireland camp over the course of the evening, and we will talk to Keith Wood for his thoughts on where Joe Schmidt and his side go from here. John Giles in studio from 7:30, talking about John Delaney's departure from the FAI and the capitulation of Tottenham in the Champions League during the week. We'll keep an eye on everything that's happening in the Europa League as well. Manchester United still scoreless in their game at AZ. United live and off the ball on Sunday. They're away at Newcastle. Newcastle in real crisis at the moment. We will talk about that on the football show with George Culkin right after we take Richie outside and sort him out for not turning off the sound on his laptop.
Sorry, it was just my calendar reminder. 24 hours to go until Nathan Murphy wins his IMRO Radio Award.
Oh, smooth link, Richie. I'll let him away with that.
He did get a notification here. I was even. It's like a some kind of shortlist.
Shortlist, yeah.
Shortlist.
E6 Sports Broadcaster of the Year.
Okay,
full
go on.
service.
Give us the shortlist.
Give us the shortlist, Richie. Some big names, I'm sure.
There are. Maura Trostany Gallagher's being the biggest of all.
Hey.
You have that one, Dave? Damien O'Mara.
That's why we can't win because the engraving would take forever. It just cost too much.
That is why Richie is not on the shortlist.
That many other reasons. Damien O'Mara's on there. Darren Frehill's on there. Joe Malloy's on there for the 15 millionth time. Maura Trostany Kelly's on there for the very first time. And Nathan Murphy's on there for the...
too many times to talk about.
Always the bridesmaid, never
If
the
only
bride.
there was an analogy.
You're basically a bit...
If only there was a sporting analogy for the amount of times I've come second at the IMRO Radio Awards.
Could you say you're subject to some kind of curse?
I peaked too early. My first year ever, I won it. And since then,
you've won it?
I have won it.
Oh, you've won it.
Oh, I have one of those bad boys. Like Padraig Harrington, you walk into his house, you walk into my house, you see that IMRO award right there.
You don't want to be that guy who's won the major once. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to be the sort of the Ben Curtis of
Todd
sports
Hamilton,
broadcasting.
am I?
Todd Hamilton, yeah.
The very first
Rich Beam.
Well, it just shows these things mean very little, Nathan. You know, we won Music Station of the Year with Phantom the first year we were there, and where are they now?
Well, could be here for quite a while with that one, I think, Richard.
So how's the dynamic between Joe and Nathan around
Frosty
awards week?
Frosty.
You know, there'll be separate dressing rooms tomorrow.
No, well, I've
it's like Messi and Ronaldo, like, you know, do they sort of sit close
perfected my
together?
gracious loser face at this stage.
It's well practiced.
Well done.
It's well practiced.
I was saying earlier during our recording of Golf Weekly that to try and unite us on this week, we need to put Golf Weekly on the radio for a few hours, get that nominated for Best Sports Programme up against Off the Ball, and then we'd really have something to...
I just hope there's no tension between you. It's not like does it sort of linger beneath the surface, like...
Probably a little bit.
It does, yeah. And are you confident?
I hate his guts. Sorry.
Are you feeling confident?
Well, listen, it's a very subjective vote. Just because you win it doesn't necessarily mean you're the best, Dan.
That's exactly what it says.
It's like the newspaper award.
Sports broadcaster of the year.
How many times have you won that?
But I've been on quite a few shortlists. I know the pain. And it's a bit of a Spursy thing, like, do you know what I mean? Just sort of knocking around the premises, but just...
I do always say it's good to be nominated because then you definitely get to go and have a bit of crack. We actually have
if you don't win.
We have a lot of nominations on Off the Ball. Is it 9, JP? 9 Off the Ball nominations, which is more than some national radio stations not too far away.
The gantry is just, that was outstanding.
Yeah, maybe even further out. It might just be like, you know.
Just saying.
Some kind of meme going around with like people.
Might not be the best idea to piss them off at this era, though.
The major difficulties are actually when Off the Ball wins a joint award that quite a few people have input into.
Such as?
Well,
Show of the Year.
Show of the Year. So we have 2 nominations in that. who goes up on stage if we win Show of the Year. So if we win Show of the Year tomorrow night, which, come on, who else is nominated for that, Richie?
Oh God, I've squinted this page again. This is unwieldy.
Let's just question them right from the start. Sports program Off the Ball Live.
Off the Ball Live. Off the Ball.
Which Off the Ball Live is that?
That's
The Roy Keane one will be next year.
Oh, that'll be next year. Nailed on.
For who though?
Yeah, it's an actual Titanic struggle. Sunday Sport, stories in action of 40 years. Yeah, right. Team 33.
Oh, won it previously.
Daft Riallo is going to be, and the last word with Matt Cooper.
Live sporting results might count against it. All I'm saying is, if we win it,
That's a very in-joke.
if we win sports program,
Explain your in-joke.
well, I just tuned in to the bulletin at 5 o'clock, and there was no scoreline from the Irish match because they're protecting it for people who may have missed the game.
Who?
Because obviously a lot of people are at work during the match this
But they're not
morning.
deaf.
They may have missed it and might have recorded it.
Maybe if they work in space or in a mine.
Did you say Matt Cooper is, making allowances for people who actually are in intergalactic space?
Can I just stop?
Do a 5 to 7.
Can I
commute.
just-
Those of us listening
Do
in
a 5 to
space.
7 commute afterwards.
Can I just stop this right now? Because are you going tomorrow night, Richie?
No.
Are you going tomorrow night, Dan?
No.
So I see what you've done here. We've brought us down a path where I slag off every other person who works in the building and then have to see them for 8 hours tomorrow night.
Chances are you're not going to make a speech to do that tomorrow.
Oh, well,
so you can do it here.
Unfortunately, at the Radio Awards, there are no speeches.
That's because there's so many of them.
And that's
the one thing
because
I know is
everybody's
about
so
the one thing I know is about the Radio
prestigious.
Awards. There's around 6,000 awards, and then on the day when the awards come out, you get
12.
your social media timelines are flooded with someone. But I'm really, really honoured and delighted to be nominated for the subsection 4, category D, like the best sports program in the Pale or something, whatever, some small category.
Tally it up. 40 in all. And that's
40.
not including the Hall of Fame.
14 all.
40.
40.
40 awards to
Bloody
be
hell, it's going to be a long
meted out.
night. Frehel and Amar are going to be lobbing vol-au-vents at you tomorrow night after that dig, Nathan, says Podge. I didn't have a dig.
Jesus,
There was no dig.
Don't, you're going to cost yourself a gig in RTA at this rate.
Cut out the bullshit and get on with it and grow up. Dare you to read this out, says Jerry and Carlo.
Oh, you're hard.
This is a very aggressive news round so far. I'm just saying, if we win Sports Programme of the Year, which we're one of 5 nominees.
3 of 5 if you count Team 33. Rafa's going to kill you.
Yeah.
JP, I'm saying the Off the Ball weekday show, this one right here.
Right.
Who goes up and collects the award?
Dahi. Let Dahi collect it.
Fair enough.
Dahi's
But
done his
JP
fair
will be
work.
first man up there. Oh yeah, I put it all together.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's right.
Suppose
I
not,
think the
no.
presenter should be the ones who go up and collect it.
You're the stars. You're the ones that make it happen.
Just saying.
Nathan's the kind of person who refers to himself as the talent.
Listen, if that's what my room says for tomorrow night, that's fine with me. Best of luck to everybody going. I think
You
you're all
don't mean
great.
that.
I think
You
you're
don't
all
I don't mean
great.
that. That's so disingenuous.
I think they're all great. I think
Best of luck to everyone
very
that's nominated.
difficult to
which is
get nominated.
Everybody. Everybody's nominated.
I never said anything about Darren Frehel and Damien O'Mara.
Why did you
Both
say
of them
that
are
about-
very nice guys.
Why would they? Is there vol-au-vents actually there?
Are there vol-au-vents? Vol-au-vents in 1984, isn't it?
The
It's
RT
in the
people,
Lyret. They've
the
got a bit more
RT
about them
people
than
just bring
that.
their own.
That they've got their own private menu.
They might. Yeah.
Ortiz writer. On our dime, Dan. On our dime.
Those green-eyed monsters sat in studio with you, Nathan, are very loud tonight, aren't they? From Vin. Lads, will you get on with the sports show and stop dreaming?
No, that's true.
That
What's
is
life
fair
without
enough.
dreams?
That's true.
Without dreams, you might as well. break
Joe
them.
doesn't talk about the awards. He just wins them.
That's true, actually, yeah.
Collects them. Just efficiently.
Wow.
Just.
You say
picks
he
them up.
doesn't talk about them, but I think you'll
I
find.
mean, I've seen it parodied several times already.
I think you'll find. We're going to have the next segment, are we, tonight of Restart? Yes. Ron O'Gara's going to be taking the call with Restart tonight.
Oh, interesting.
So that's coming up between.
Joe
8
really
and
took the
9.
first one well, I think, in the style you would expect. We brought up an Erdem the other day.
Oh, did you?
He rejects the fact that it could be accurate in any way. But in such ways, like, do I really act like that?
Did
do
he
I
say,
really
do
add a pause at some point?
Really? Act like that?
Yeah, he did, yeah. Is it? Yeah,
Listen, not to take anybody else. Tomorrow's going to be the most awkward night of my life now.
Yeah, Jess Kelly's just tweeted to say that you're as humble as Kanye West.
Listen, revolutionary figures are hard to take sometimes.
Are you like comparing yourself to like Che Guevara and Kanye West?
Well, Jess Kelly just did.
Fair enough.
All right, Richie, where are we going to start?
With apologies to Last Word listeners, Ireland returns to winning ways and to the summit of Pool A at the Rugby World Cup today with a 35-0 bonus point win over Russia. Tries from Rob Kearney, Peter O'Mahony and Rhys Ruddock had Ireland leading 21-0 at the break, but it was 19 minutes from time before Joe Schmidt's side secured the bonus point with the try from Andrew Conway. Gary Ringrose added a fifth, but it was far from vintage from Ireland with more injuries to contend with. Geordie Murphy was taken off and Joey Carberry was a late withdrawal from the replacements bench, while Jonathan Sexton was also replaced, and Schmidt was asked about the injuries with Johnny Sexton alongside him after today's game.
Joey is hopefully fine. Geordie, he's just got squeezed in the ribs. He may have popped a rib there, so we're going to get him checked out. It was pretty uncomfortable, and that was disappointing because our plan was only to play him for 40 minutes and keep CJ fresh for 40 minutes as well. So we'll see what that comes back like. Johnny.
Good, all good.
He's all good. And who was our one? Rob. Yeah, I think Rob's okay. Again, we're going to give him 50 or 60, and so making the change when we did, I think he just he felt a little bit tight in the groin, and we just felt it was about time to take him off anyway.
The game was festooned with handling errors, in part due to the sweaty conditions under the roof in Kobe, and hooker Niall Scannell was asked by Owen Sheehan after the game how much of a factor the roof was.
Yeah, I think, the conditions obviously played a bit of a factor, despite me saying last day that I didn't think they would. The handling was tricky, and, I think we still, had a lot of endeavour about us, and we tried to play good attacking rugby, especially on the end of a lot of those line breaks and stuff. And, what we got from Russia, is exactly what we expected. They were massively physical up front. They stuck at it, and they didn't really give us anything easy, which is, exactly what we expected. But I thought we stuck to the job well, and we, kept trying to be as accurate as we can be. And in the end, we're happy with the scoreline.
Earlier in the day, Fiji went second in Pool D by picking up their first win of the tournament. They ran in 7 tries in a 45-10 bonus point win of their own. That was over Georgia.
Has Dan been overdoing things on the cough medicine? He's throwing everyone under the bus, says Helen.
Not on the cough medicine.
What's the connection?
Text back just to clarify.
Off the Ball is on 24 hours a day on OTB Sports Radio. If you flood the sports broadcasting market like that, it'd be pretty sad if you didn't get a few nominations, says Owen. Thanks for the plug, Owen.
That's not Owen in Japan. But I mean, you are all keeping the award warm for Owen next year.
Why?
Sure, he's long odds on favourite for next year.
It's not on the radio. It doesn't count.
Oh yeah.
Multimedia.
Some sort of digital award.
Has any of the stuff been put out? Any of the videos?
Absolutely no chance. Not now. It's not.
Owen is the one coming through. He's Gillian Nagelsmann character coming through.
No chance.
He's taking it next year. You think? No. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
Bloody hell.
Absolutely.
Territorial Nathan here. Move along.
Thanks for the instruction, Dan.
I didn't even think it so badly.
You really have got lots of yourself today.
I didn't realise you take competition so badly. Listen,
all of Nathan's year is geared towards this.
He's under 30. He's on the way up.
Is he under 30? Oh, he is. Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
25, yeah.
Just
the future.
You had a good run at it.
Sheffield United manager Chris Wilder expects David McGoldrick to play some part in the Republic of Ireland's Euro 2020 qualifiers this month. The striker wasn't included in Mick McCarthy's squad of 24 for the games away to Georgia and Switzerland due to a hamstring injury, but Wilder says the Premier League side are working hard to help McGoldrick back in time to travel.
He's getting closer, and we'll see what's what, but if we can get him fit for Mick, we will try to, because David wants to play international football, and Mick obviously is an important part of his squad, so no issues there. And if he doesn't, then we'll work with him and get him ready for the Arsenal game.
Why wasn't he just included in the squad then?
Yeah, and neither McGoldrick or Shane Duffy as well. There's also a positive enough bulletin from Shane Duffy's perspective from Brighton today as well, that his injury may not have been as bad as first expected. So, yeah, Mick McCarthy named a 24-man squad, but then he sort of dropped it on us that these two lads might actually be okay. So maybe it's just a case that the prognosis is better, that he named the squad at a point when there was more information to come across the week. And
but he said that he had 40, recovering. He said that because he didn't do the provisional, well, not publicly anyway, but he released the club's, the 41-man squad it was this time. That was
so they were obviously on that list. Yeah,
and they were whittled down by the time Monday came around.
Yeah, so I think come Monday we'll find out. I mean, that Wilder quote today suggests that McGoldrick is going to travel because it is a double header. Like they're obviously obviously going to Georgia and then going straight to Switzerland from there. So I wonder in a way, and this hasn't been said publicly by anyone, that is there a sense of, it's a tight 3-day turnaround, that if you can nearly target those lads at the Switzerland match, as much as in many respects winning the Georgia game is so crucial, because it almost makes the Switzerland game a free hit to a degree, because Denmark dropped points in Georgia, that you could almost lose the Swiss game and still find yourself almost in going into the last day with a chance. If you win your last game. Yeah. So I wonder, when you think about it, if you have someone like McGoldrick with a hamstring issue and Duffy with a calf issue, the chances of them playing 2 games in 3 days, you would have to say, are probably pretty unlikely. Or 2 games in 4 days, space of 4 days is pretty unlikely. So do you nearly try and pitch them and think, 12 days time, is it viable? Maybe so, but it is a bit more promising, because obviously it's been a pretty bad news week or so in terms of preparations for that.
Just to let you know that Dyslexic Awareness Week runs all next week, and we want to point you in the direction of a fundraising auction that is running right now. Lexis Ireland and Carnarvon National School, a dyslexic friendly school in Athenry, have donated a pair of boots worn and signed by Johnny Sexton that is going to be auctioned off on eBay, with all the proceeds going to the school. Get on to Carnarvon National School's Facebook page for more details on how you can get involved and place your bid.
Elsewhere, Xherdan Shaqiri has made amends with Swiss management. The Liverpool playmaker made himself unavailable for last month's Euro 2020 qualifiers with Ireland and Gibraltar to focus on his club career. Shaqiri held a 2-hour conversation with Swiss manager Vladimir Petkovic in Liverpool this week, which was said to have been positive, but a calf injury means that Shaqiri will actually miss this month's games, which for Switzerland are with Georgia, and we know with Ireland in Geneva.
It's not getting any better for Manchester United.
No, it isn't. Well, at least it's not getting any worse at the minute either, because they're still scoreless in Alkmaar. United started with 3 teenagers for that Europa League group game. Elsewhere in that group, Partizan Belgrade's top Group L following a 2-1 win away to Astana. Matt Doherty started for Wolves this evening. There was also a 5:55 start in Istanbul. Still Besiktas 0, Wolves 0 there, while the other 5:55 start of some interest to us as well tonight involves Stephen Gerrard's Rangers in Group G in Switzerland. It's currently Young Boys 1, Rangers 1. It was Alfredo Morelos that gave Rangers the first half lead just before the break. In fact, 5 minutes after it, though, Young Boys were level through Roger Asali, the Ivorian forward. Feyenoord 0, Porto 0, the other latest score in that group. At 8, Arsenal, without Mesut Ozil, not through injury, welcome Standard Liège to the Emirates. And in Group E, Celtic faced the Romanian champions Cluj at Parkhead.
All right, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest scores in all of those games throughout the evening, and on the football show from 9 o'clock as well.
Ciara McGeehan returns to the track in Doha tonight for the semi-finals of the 1500 metres. That's at the World Athletics Championships. The Lisburn athlete qualified automatically via her finish in the heats yesterday. The semi-final gets underway at 9 p.m. Irish time, with the first 5 in each semi making the final, along with the 2 fastest losers.
Ryan and Tremor, very much on our side. Flooding the sports broadcasting market. Is that one of those texters who doesn't realise they can feck off and listen to something else if they're bored? I'm impressed you haven't turned into a shout. Wait a second. We might want to work with these people at some stage. I'm impressed you haven't turned into a shouty, superficial operation like other sports-based radio show based in another country who fill their airtime with cheap and easy content. So fair dues, lads. Don't let them grind you down.
What could you possibly be talking about, Nathan?
I think that's quite harsh.
That's a bit harsh, yeah. You're a potential colleague.
I love a bit of Alan Brazil in the morning.
Yeah, you can get a bit of what's the guy, Moose, is it?
Nathan was our own Moose for a while.
Yeah. Have you been photographed with as many people?
Good friends.
Not. I don't have as many friends.
No.
Good friends, Nathan.
Good friends.
Yeah.
Who does?
A lot of good friends.
That's the TalkSport gig gone, Nathan. Well done. RTE, TalkSport. Running down the boxing here, pal.
Who's next?
Ciara Smith, it's through to the last 16 at the Women's World Boxing Championships in Siberia. The Cavan Southpaw got a unanimous victory over Taylor Robertson of Queensland in the lightweight division today, and Smith will meet the number 1 seed Mi Choi Pang next week. Next Tuesday, in fact, is when that last 16 bout will be.
I'm sure you tuned in live earlier, Dan, as you do now every Thursday for Golf Weekly, which is live.
I like Golf Weekly.
Thursday.
I do enjoy Golf Weekly.
We had a great show today. We had Robbie Cannon on, brilliant amateur golfer in his own right, and strength and conditioning coach to Shane Lowry. Was in studio for the entire show with Peter Lowry. So that is up on offtheball.com right now. I'll bring you a clip of that a little bit later. Richie, it's full of chat now, isn't he? Oh, when Troy Merritt arrives into studio, it's all golf this, golf that. Oh, I love that PGA Tour.
Where was everyone? I have no idea. That was a massive...
Dan, if you're ever wondering how I end up in that chair, it's because everybody else is off.
Had you heard of Troy Merritt before JP first raised...
Yeah.
Had you heard of Troy Merritt before JP first raised the possibility?
Of course I had. How dare you suggest that I hadn't heard of Troy Merritt?
Surely the problem for
The flowing conversation that ensued over the 20 minutes that we had in the studio with him would show that I'd heard of him before.
Surely the problem for you lads, Golf Weekly lads, is that the best golf interview on Off the Ball this year was conducted by Richie.
That's just fact.
I mean, that's pretty harsh, but it's tough to take.
I got unlucky.
Jesus. This is not a good pep talk for me ahead of tomorrow night.
Like, you would have been sat there looking at him and go, where's Rory? Where's Tiger? Where's the big
Tiger
ones?
back? Oh, that happened already.
Whereas I can make gold.
All the golf hits.
I can make gold out of Troy Merritt.
All right.
Have a bit of that.
It was great. Really, really enjoyable.
Enjoy your
In terms of deserving award winners, here's a suggestion. What about David Brady, Mayo's best off the ball correspondent?
100%. Brady should be up there. Definitely. We have Brady presenting the awards, actually. That'd be a bit of crack.
That would be good.
Yeah. Feeding Brady drinks throughout the night and then get
Dermot Whelan presents the awards. He's cutting. Dermot Whelan is one of these presenters who what he does was he basically goes around pretty much every table and slags them off mercilessly. And then he comes to your table and you're like, he's nailed it there. Then he comes to your table and he slags you off and you go, that's completely untrue. It's
harsh, yeah.
That's very harsh. That's totally out of order.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait a second. Yeah, that is how.
Just shows how much of an ego you have that you can't really handle slating like that.
Well, that's not been it.
It's almost like a radio awards could be full of people with massive egos.
Who could have predicted such a dramatic?
Nathan's going to have a Facebook post on Sunday about somebody who chagrined him from some other station. He's like, how dare they? They were bullying me in the loo.
It's fair enough that. It is the most egotistical award ceremony in the world, I suspect. Aside from the newspaper awards, Dan.
It's more understated arrogance, but it's still there.
It's still there.
It's still there.
I take it back. Dan's not dopey enough to be on the cough medicine. Clearly he's been at a bottle of Paddy's. Very aggressive, says Helen. I don't know, it's all... It's been very strange news.
You're the one who said bring up the awards. You know?
I most definitely did not.
Fair enough.
Just
I most
mentioned.
definitely did not.
You put your sword with that one.
It was like one of those tweets that you see a footballer getting. It's like, can you just mention the following before we go on air?
yeah.
Say something like.
Of course, they'll never be mentioned again after tomorrow night if I don't bring home the gold.
You're not winning.
They have a gold, silver, bronze.
Yeah.
Yet the silver never turns up.
It's just silver. It's like
It's just a token gesture. Your name on a big screen so everybody can see you're a loser.
Yeah. There you go.
I've got used to
How many silvers have you got?
Quite more than I'd like to mention. But I'm okay with it.
Speaking of golf, it hasn't been a good day for the Irish in day one of the Spanish Open. Michael Hoey, 2 over par following a 73. Gavin Moynihan and Paul Dunne, 3 over and 4 over, respectively. But it's Norway's Christian Krugh Johansson who's the overnight leader on 8 under par. He shot a 63 today.
Yeah, Paul Dunne having a really bad run of form at the moment. Should be just about all right to maintain his card. I think he's 100th in the race to Dubai at the moment. 115 stay in, but yeah, he's had a massive dip over the last while, split with his caddy. So hopefully he can turn it round over the next while. Thank you, Dan. Are we done?
I think so, yeah. Sure, why not? Unless you want to mention the awards again.
I don't want to mention the awards again. I feel it's gone pretty bad for all of us.
Are you in on Saturday then?
I am, of course.
Oh, you'll be back. What a pro.
To the cause.
What a pro. Oh, yeah.
Just in case I win, I want to be straight into,
Yeah. I look forward to that.
Who's supposed to be helping you out on Saturday? Who's producing? Will they do what Owen Sheehan did 3 years ago?
Neil Tracy is a professional and will be here. Owen Sheehan, the golden boy, as they like to call him now. Owen Sheehan, 3 years ago, the only man on record to have gone to the Radio Awards and not turned up for work the following day.
Yeah.
So that should still be held against him.
He did turn up, but he left his voice down in Kilkenny.
I think he turned up about 40 minutes late.
Yeah, an hour late, and voice is in Kilkenny still, and it was
how well he's done since.
I'm just saying.
He's in Japan while you're picking up silver tomorrow.
Exactly. Richie, thank you. Dan, you'll be back for the football show?
I will.
All right, very good. Still scoreless in that game between Manchester United and AZ Alkmaar. John Giles is in studio next.
Off the Ball on News Talk.
Hi, I'm Aisling. I'm a very active person. I love to go running and hill walking, so comfort and support are very important. I often visit Foot Solutions as their staff are very knowledgeable. They have the latest technology and a range of great brands for outdoor activity. Now I can go hiking with total peace of mind.
For active feet without the pain,